Hey everybody, today is on American Marxism. So I think we have a huge threat in this country. This threat is the progressive radical left and their Marxist ideology. If you look at the Bernie Sanders campaign, this is kind of like the epicenter and also just a perfect blueprint for the danger that we face. The people within the Bernie campaign referred to themselves as democratic socialists. So if you ask them if they were socialists or Marxist, they said, no, we're democratic socialists. And then they would not give us a definition that defines them differently than Marxists, but they deny being Marxists. And this is something that is very common along the left, which is to deny being what they are. And then after they get what they want and they begin to enact their evil, basically, which is what Marxism is, they say, well, yeah, we told you we were going to do this. So I think if you look at the Bernie campaign, that has like the biggest red flag in it, in that he had multiple campaign members talking about putting people in gulags and putting them up against walls and simply murdering them. And not one of those people was fired. They were all paid staffers, and not one of them was fired. And when you would bring it up, or when I would bring it up to people who were Bernie supporters, they would either just ignore it altogether, or I would even get laughed at or ridiculed, as if somehow the one presidential campaign in my lifetime that has people in it publicly talking about murdering fellow citizens was somehow a joke. So I think when you look at these Marxists, you need to maybe ask them some questions, and this is how you can tell if they're Marxists. The first question you would ask is, are they themselves willing to pay higher taxes to get what they want? So they want to raise taxes, and the American Marxist generally wants to raise taxes on everybody but themselves. Their socialism starts at your paycheck but ends before it gets to theirs. So you ask them, what are they going to contribute to it? Most of them will talk about evil millionaires or billionaires or whatever, but the reality is they don't want to pay taxes themselves. They just want to take it from somebody else, and that's the first thing. Ask them how much they're willing to pay. The second thing you should ask is, how much are they willing to take from somebody else? Is there an upper limit to how much they will take from somebody else? When I've asked this question, I've never gotten an answer. No one has ever answered anything other than a banal, well, we'll stop taking when suffering ends, or something stupid along the lines of that, where they want to leave it open, where they can take everything from anybody that they feel needs to be taken from. But they don't want to tell you that because they know how they look. And the third thing is, especially when they say, oh, I'm a democratic socialist, or, I'm not a Marxist, I don't want Marxism. Ask them, this is the question. Can you tell me the mechanical difference between your brand of socialism and Marxism? What is the mechanical difference? Now, when you ask this question, most of them will tell you, well, we believe in just taking care of our people. We just want to, take care of people and make sure that everybody's happy. But they cannot tell you the mechanical, the operational difference between the system that they want to put in place and Soviet-style Marxism or Chinese-style or Venezuelan Marxism. They cannot articulate a functional difference. And that should be a real red flag for just about everybody, including them. If they don't want actual Marxism, that should be a red flag. You'd think if you don't want something, you should be able to articulate a difference between what you do want and what you don't want. So I think everybody needs to be careful, and I think they need to pay attention to what's going on here. And I think we're in real trouble if this movement gets any larger than it is.